I refuse to live a life that doesn't feel fulfilling anymore. I want a life that feels totally aligned. I want a career, a profession. I want to spend my days doing things that absolutely bring me so much joy. They don't even feel like work. My mission is to show people this is possible. As somebody who has spent my entire career really not feeling fulfilled, it's my life's mission to find that fulfillment and show others it's possible. Welcome to Matters of the Mind, Rise to Your Worth. I am your host, Matt Gerlach. I am a seven-figure entrepreneur. I am a person who has survived trauma, and I have healed, and I have literally almost eradicated my anxiety. I have learned how to roll with life. I have decided to write a book about the whole journey. As you see now, I've launched a podcast. I have helped dozens of businesses scale to 7, 8, and 9 digits. I have built teams. I am not saying this to brag. I am saying this because honestly, I can't really believe it's possible. I can't believe that I've done this. And I believe that I can have a life that feels absolutely and totally fulfilling. So I am building a mentorship business. This is how my life has called me. I've spent most of my life looking to figure out what makes me tick, what my purpose is. And it's really hard when you grow up being told that your dreams, that the things that you wanted were wrong. I was overly ambitious. I made life hard, I think, on my family because I always wanted more than what I had. And I remember the first couple of jobs that I had, the first couple of professional jobs out of college, I was told things like, Matt, like the level of excellence that you desire just is unreal to expect of other people. You're going to need to lower your expectations. My first job when I moved to New York, I had my boss and I got along very well. So this was kind of a funny situation, but I was all about efficiency and driving results. And she was like, Matt, you need to talk about the weather more. I agree with that. As I've learned, talking about the weather, fostering genuine connections with people is absolutely imperative. But the point that I'm making is I am an excellence-driven person. I demand it of myself. I get so much fulfillment from delivering excellence. I myself am what I call a very, very discerning consumer. I don't complain, to be clear, at restaurants, or I don't complain about things that don't necessarily meet like the level of excellence, but like I do have a level of excellence that I enjoy, and it's just like, if I'm going to spend my money, I would rather spend it on something that is excellent. And if I can't find it, I'll make it for myself. Many of you probably know that I love cooking more than I love just about anything in the entire world. It's my first real joy. It's the first thing that I really found, like my first hobby, and I love everything about it. And cooking, it's a big thing right now for me. I find so much peace in cooking. I enjoy making food for David. I enjoy having friends and family members over for meals. It's one of my favorite things. And I would rather cook myself than go to a mediocre restaurant, or I'd rather cook myself than spend, $100 on something that's not amazing that I can make myself at home for $15 or, $5. But I'm driven by this excellence, and I know that I have so much to teach people. And I don't say that arrogantly. I just look at what I've accomplished in my life, and this really isn't about money. It's really about like, when I look back at myself 10 years ago, I was like a sarcastic, passive aggressive, crabby, snide person. And I look at myself now navigating arguably the most difficult and challenging period of my entire life that I've ever navigated it through. I'm doing way more than okay. And I'm saying this because I want you to see that this is possible for you. If you're struggling with anxiety or depression, or there are things in your life that are not making you happy, we can change them about ourselves. We can change the things that we would like to change about ourselves. And I'm a testament to it. And my mission in life is to show people that this is possible to enjoy your life. And I am hell bent on figuring this out for myself. So I have this consulting business I started about 8 years ago, and it was helping baby product companies. And I grew out of it, not like the companies necessarily, but just like the kind of work that I was doing. I have a big desire to help people in a much bigger capacity than I was helping before. I want to help people, help businesses, entrepreneurs, people that want to change their lives and build yourself an incredible life. I want to help you do that because I'm doing that for myself. I have figured out so much about changing my life from where it wasn't fulfilling to where now I love my life. And I decided that I wanted to do something different with my career. I didn't want to just be in the sales capacity that I was in. I really have a passion for mentorship. I want to help people learn what I know. I've learned how to take care of myself. I've learned how to completely turn around my mental health, my emotional health. I've learned to cook for myself. I've learned to entertain lovely gatherings with people and show love through my food. I've learned how to take care of my nutrition. I've learned how to enjoy working out. I work out almost every single day, and it doesn't feel like a chore anymore. I've learned how to learn. I read all the time. I've learned how to have hobbies, and so many people I work with, they find themselves saying I'm just kind of working because I don't know what else I would do with my time. And that used to be me. I used to work because I didn't know what else to do with my time. I didn't have any hobbies at all. And now I have so many hobbies, and I'm doing what the people who I admire, the people, like one of my favorite people in the whole world is Ina Garten, the Barefoot Contessa. I'm actually reading her memoir right now. It just came out recently. And she talks about, I think we know her from her cooking. She's this jubilant, amazing, lovely person on TV who's showing America, who's showing the world how to cook and entertain. And I'm reading her book, and what it's really about, what she's really done for us, is she's showing us how to live lives that we love. Her husband, Jeffrey, back when they were younger, they've been married, I think, I should know this, I'm reading the book, but they've been married for 60 years, I think. And I think it's about 60 years. And she used to be, you might not know this, she used to be a nuclear analyst for the White House. What a cool job most people would want, not her. She admitted it. I don't want to be doing this kind of analytical work anymore. So her husband and her talked about it, and he said, and I wish I could remember this exactly, but I'm going to get it pretty close. But he said, Ina, do what you enjoy, do what makes you happy, and when you're happy, you're going to be really good at it. So do something you enjoy because it'll make you happy, and if you're happy and enjoy what you do, you're going to be really, really, really good at it. And that's what I'm doing. I want to do what makes me happy, and that is mentorship. It's teaching people what I know. It's learning. I love learning. Learning is one of my favorite things in the whole world. And I want to surround myself with other growth-minded people and people whom I can mentor. Life isn't free. I do need to make some money from this, and that's part of it. I love writing. I really, as it sits now, my business model right now, I'm happy to share this with you. It really is that I want to be spending half of my time working with a handful or so of clients in a coaching, in a business consulting capacity, mentorship, I like to call it. And I want to, this feels so exciting to say, but I want the other half of my life to probably be pretty unrevenue producing at the beginning, while I create and share my hobbies and share the art and share the pieces of my life that bring me so much joy. And this involves writing, it involves cooking, it involves in-person events with people who are like-minded and who want to grow. Like, I want to spend my time doing that, and I'm not exactly sure what this end result is going to be. I'm not exactly sure, and I'm starting to embrace that this is fun to figure out. Thanks for listening to me ramble for a few minutes about what I'm trying to do. As I'm out here, I'm really trying to figure out how to help you, how to help you with what you're struggling with in life or what you'd like to change. And when I started this journey a couple of years ago, when I started to think about like how I was really going to change my life into having my professional life be fulfilling, that it doesn't feel like work, I started to think about like how I would do this. And it really was just sharing myself. I have the gift of vulnerability. I'm very, 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 very comfortable sharing most of what's going on in my life. There are a few things that I'd probably rather keep to myself at this point. But for the most part, one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever done, I labeled earlier some of like the more tangible things. Probably one of the biggest things I've ever accomplished is that I've learned to not be so hard on myself. I'm 41 years old at the time of this recording, and it was probably just about a little bit less than 2 years ago, maybe even 1 year ago, that I could say that I am somebody who is no longer incredibly, excessively hard on themselves. I'm not perfect. I still find myself a little bit, maybe a medium amount bit, being hard on myself. But I have improved this being hard on myself immensely. It has been immensely, immensely improved. And I know so many of you struggle with being hard on yourselves. As I've started coaching people, it's been very interesting to see, I would say, the most universal like problem that we're all suffering from. And it's like, it's not funny, I shouldn't be laughing, but I think it literally is something we're all suffering from, is that we all are treating our bodies, harming our minds, harming our lives, harming ourselves in ways that we know we shouldn't be. But we are human and we are imperfect. And for as long as we live, we're going to continue to harm ourselves a bit. We are going to be eating food that's less nutritious than we should be. We are going to be indulging in things that we shouldn't be. We are going to be gossiping. We are going to be, judging. We're going to be doing all of these things that are, undoubtedly adding pain to our lives, that are adding hardship to our lives. So my friend did my human design. I don't know a whole lot about it in terms of being able to like present to you like the deep intricacies of the human design work, but this struck me very, very, very much. And I think, and she told me that the human design work here is very specific to me, and this makes it special to me. So this is a long, like, just so you could see here, it's a very long piece of document here, but there's one sentence I want to repeat right now, and this really spoke to me. I am here to create, inspire, and lead with authenticity, knowing that my journey of growth is not only mine, but a path that invites others to transform alongside me. So very funny. She just gave this to me like a couple days ago, and 2 years later, this is all making a lot of sense. I want to show you and teach you what I'm learning and just bring you into my life so you can, what's changed me, what's helped me, a woman named Glennon Doyle. She's an author. She's probably been one of the biggest impacts of my life. She's an author and she's a podcast, and she's just shown me how to live a messy life. I don't know that I love the word messy. It's kind of funny, so it's fine. But like, just to live life. Like, we're all out here like living life, and I feel like these past couple of episodes have been so enjoyable for me to share this, and like this is what's going on. I have so much mentorship and so much going on, so many lessons I'm learning. And it feels like maybe this is just me interpreting it this way, but it feels like me out here being a coach, a consultant, and writer, a thought leader. I'm supposed to be presenting myself as if I have it all together. And spoiler alert, I do not have it all together. And I just gonna continue to share that with you. And I just want to share a little bit right now about what's going on. I've talked about like this business thing, like that I'm creating, and it's, I have some really amazing clients that I love working with, and I am not at a place where I'm making enough money to pay for my life at this point. And my business, I have people on staff that are helping me from a consultant and a freelance capacity. So just to be, putting these podcasts on, to be putting a newsletter out, to be posting on social media, I'm spending thousands of dollars a month to build this business. And I'm in a very fortunate place that I have saved money. I've saved a good amount of money. I've always been a saver. My parents taught me to save. I met another man, David, who also saves. So we've done a good job saving. And it's really interesting because I've never had to take money out of the bank to live. Like, this has never happened to me before. And in a previous episode, I mentioned that, like, I wish I would have I planned. I don't want to say that, like, this is like a huge shock and I'm in hardship. I'm not in hardship. And if anything, I'm a big Stoic fan. The Stoics, they lived a couple thousand years ago. And, like, they talk about stuff like this. Like, it's not the worst thing to not be able to splurge on things all the time. Like, I didn't really splurge too much, but, like, yeah, like I'm being a lot more careful with money right now. And I can tell you it's not really bad. I mean, a little vacation wouldn't be the worst thing, but, and I probably will take a little vacation regardless, but, yeah, it's not bad. Like, and I just want you to, like, I'm just letting you know, like, I'm this man who's, made $1 million a year in a consulting business that I never thought this would be possible. I mean, making that kind of money is nice. I would certainly not turn it down. If I made half that doing something that I absolutely loved, that would be amazing too. I do live in LA. We're starting a family, and I'm not ashamed to put it out there, but, like, that sounds like an ungodly amount of money, I'm sure, to some people, but, like, we have just a very expensive house. I mean, we live in LA. It's expensive. Life is expensive. I can get by on less than that. But yeah, that's the reality. I mean, I need to make a pretty decent amount of money to live in LA, and to not even, like, we don't go on vacations much. I mean, we're starting a family. I guess we need to start saving for college and stuff for her. So yeah, I mean, and that's what I teach. I mean, I've said this from the very beginning, before I even started really, like, putting myself out there. The thing I care most in the world about is people having the ability to create a life for themselves. Financially, predominantly, was where this thought came from, that they could afford the life that they need, the life that they want. I think that any of us should be allowed to live in the city that we want to live in, I mean, and I work with people to help them create that amount of money that they need, that this is a game. I mean, there's 8 billion people in this world. With any sort of business venture, with anything, like, there are people out there that will pay you for your services. I mean, it's absolutely the way it is. A lot of the people I talk to right now and consult with, I mean, if you're offering $100 product to someone who has $1 billion, they don't want that $100 product. More than likely, they're going to be more enticed to buy a similar product that's $10,000 because they are going to see that as being more valuable. And I don't disagree with that. If somebody were to come by and say, hey, like, I want to be your life coach, Matt, for $50 an hour, I wouldn't want to spend my time doing that, because I want the life coach that's valuing themselves much, much, much higher than that, because I value myself much, much higher than that. So I actually just came back from an event today where I met a bunch of insurance folks that work for massive companies, and they need to spend part of their money on diverse companies. Me being LGBT, I'm considered a diverse company. And it's interesting. I spent the entire day, I was down in Long Beach, and it was really enjoyable. I met some really nice people, but things are taking longer than I expected. And honestly, like if you saw my calendar right now, it's insane. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. I am going to events in the evening. I am still taking care of myself. I do take weekends to rest mainly. I'm resting a little bit less than I used to. I'm resting a little bit less than I would like to, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that. That's absolutely going to happen because I do prioritize my health, and it's been a few weeks of burning the candle a little bit more at both ends than I would like to. And it's it's a season that I'm in, but things are taking a little bit longer than I'd like to, and all I can do is surrender. I found faith this year, and I mean I've always believed in something, but this year I really found faith, and it came at the right time because this year I need faith. I know that like what I'm latching onto, and I encourage you to do the same, whether you're starting a business, whether you're changing your life and moving to a new home, starting a family, starting a relationship. I mean, like whatever is going on in your life, I invite you to ask yourself this. Do I really think I'll be in the same situation in 6 months? No, I do not. I'm looking at the amount of work that I'm doing, the amount of thought I'm doing around it, the amount of pivoting. Like business is really, it's a lot of adjusting. You pick a path and you learn along the way and you keep adjusting. If I spend the next 180 days doing that and pivoting and learning and growing, honestly, like this has been really like 2 months that I've been deep into doing this work for this business, for really trying to turn it into something. I've been spending full time on it, and oh my God. I mean, I have learned so much in these past 2 months. Like in 6 more months, I will be a completely different man. There's no doubt about it. And that's what we need to do when we're going through changes, when we're making changes in our lives. We just need to remember that it'll be okay. Like if you are doing the work, if you are putting the work in, if you are learning along the way and having patience, everything works out. It'll always work out. I have surrounded myself by tons of people who have accomplished miraculous things, and they have all said with 100% certainty, that is how this works. We get fired from a job and it opens up a bigger door. We have a relationship end and we meet someone who's even more ideal. Like we can't control the timing of things. We just need to learn how to roll with it and enjoy the ride. Anytime we're trying to make a change, it's just going to take longer than we anticipate. There's more, it just takes longer. Sometimes we get lucky and we just have to learn to embrace the journey. I mean, truly, this is like funny, but I'm having a really good time. I am having a really good time. And I would say that like, this is probably like just the most like down to earth, just unscripted I've been on a podcast. Not that I'm scripted on a podcast, but generally I'm kind of like trying to be a little bit more polished and make it sound like, I have it a little bit more together. And I don't. I mean, there's a plan, but this is the messiness of it, And I think like, I guess what you're seeing right now is kind of a symptom of surrender. I mean, I'm fully surrendering at this point. Yeah. I mean, and I think it's a journey. It's a journey. I wasn't ready to surrender quite this much, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And now I'm surrendering. I'm going to keep doing the work. I am realizing that this direction didn't turn out the way it was supposed to. That direction was better, but that's not exactly what it is. And I'm learning to take the time constraints off me. If I look back at this in, 2 years and have this life that is so fulfilling, that makes me so happy, am I going to look back and think, gosh, I had to take money out of my bank account for 4 months instead of the 2 that I planned? And no, I'm not going to look back and think that. I'm going to be so happy in the life that I've created that all of these other things are minuscule. Like, there are good times and there are bad times. There are times that money is abundant beyond belief, and there are times when it's tighter. And I've learned to just embrace this journey. It's not about safety. It's not about like the safety comes from within. It comes when we know that we're going to be okay regardless. Like I've even realized, like if worst case scenario, like if we have to move to a less expensive house, then I guess that might be the way that this works out. But I'm not compromising on being happy and fulfilled and finding my profession enjoyable. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do things that I don't necessarily love from time to time. That's just part of life. But I am working towards a mission, and the mission is to find people who want to learn from me, people that can teach me, people that I love being around, people that love being around me, and we are going to do this thing together. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. On my website, risetoyourworth.com, you can download a 6-step guide to building your dream life. It's really what I've used to craft mine. It's what I'm working on right now. And I'm saying where I am right now. I'm saying what I want and what is in the way and making a plan. And that plan is moving a bit as I'm getting smarter, learning more information. And that's what this is. And we also learn to embrace the imperfections of life. We embrace faith. And that is how we make change in our lives and our businesses. This guide, it is everything. It is what I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of hours distilling into this digestible guide. And if you want to, you can download it and you can book a 45-minute call with me for free. I'll talk to you about it and we'll work through your dreams together, and I'll help you. I'm here to serve, and I am surrendering, and I encourage you to surrender. If there's something that you want to achieve in life, there is this element of just like, we've got to surrender, and we've got to understand that there are sometimes short-term consequences or short-term sacrifices that we need to endure to have something much, much greater. I don't know about you, but I have seen way too many people in my life who are just so fulfilled and happy. I am not willing to compromise on it, and I don't think you should either. Have a great day, and thank you for joining me.